All right, Tomboy Official, how you guys doing? I see that people were online. I'm drinking some water. I see that people were online earlier, before the weekend. Looks like Sunday, maybe a little Saturday, Friday. I couldn't really tell what was going on Thursday, but I think it's because it was like Thanksgiving weekend. People needed all the queerness they could probably get after being stuck with their straight families. Um, but yeah, it seems like you guys kind of like this My Queer Dreams series. I only really record about it when I have actual dreams that I can remember and write down. But I did remember writing one down the other day that I don't think I posted. It was like November 14th, and around 6:35 a.m. I was still kind of like sleepy. I remember specifically putting my uh, putting my phone to record. I do specifically remember opening up my phone, starting to record, and I did an audio to text recording. So I don't know if there's going to be a lot of typos, but I'm going to read it out for you. We can see together if you like it. You can see what you think. I really don't remember. I remember just what I explained. I remember writing it down. I mean, doing the audio record to text. That way I could read it. But I really don't remember anything else about it. So I'm gonna read it if I can find it. I just copied and pasted it off of that MD app that I use for like journaling. Um, I'm a little thrown off, guys. Like, I record in this parking lot sometimes, and I was like, okay, 2 o'clock is a good time if I can't do mornings, because my mom started waking up at like 8:45 in the morning now. So if I don't record before breakfast, I don't really have any time after breakfast to really be recording anymore. And then, um, yeah, so I come here because now I'm like, okay, the the shadows for the certain like apartment complex that's next to the shopping center, the shadows are kind of like longer, and so I can sit here for like an hour or more, record, and do it in the afternoon. Uh, but dang, man, people are here shopping, and it's like freaking. I'm lucky I got my favorite parking spot. I park next to this. I don't even know how to explain it. There's like a little building and a wall, and then like a trash dumpster, like enclosed. Like you can't smell it. It's got like an enclosure around it, with like brick, like a brick, couple brick walls around it, and like a gate that closes around it, and like a top that closes on top of it. Um, and so it's ventilated somewhat, but it's not fully open, so you can't like smell it necessarily. Like maybe in the summer when you're right next to it, but I don't specifically remember that. But just like I like this time of afternoon because of the shadows, so I can kind of park in a little bit of shade. But now it's like, dude, the parking lot is like jam packed, and I'm lucky I got my spot because if I didn't, I would have had nowhere to park. Um, there's like parallel parking along the side of a building, but you don't get good airflow, and it's like across a wall from like apartments where people keep their doors and windows and stuff open. It's That's what happens when you live in the city. You can't even just go get in your car and go park somewhere and just like chill. Like, um, I might start going back to the beach. I don't know, but I might start going back to the beach because this is like I'm literally just lucky that I got to park in some shade. That's all I can really say. Because I'm just like, dude, it's not like it's that cold out here in LA. It's still pretty warm. to be like sitting in the car with your windows up. Um, so I have like the back windows kind of cracked because this car is an SUV, so I have more windows. Okay, so let's get to this dream from November 14th, 6:35 a.m. I didn't name it, so I don't really know at all what it's about, really. It's just I just labeled it my queer dreams. So, and I might have told this story. I might have told this dream before. I didn't see it in my postings. But yeah, so it says my queer dreams. I was at Urban Moe's in San Diego. It spelled it Mows, but Urban Moe's is spelled Mos. I was at Urban Moe's in San Diego with some school friends from San Diego and in let me say that again. There's a lot of weird punctuation. I was at Urban Moe's in San Diego with some school friends from San Diego and an LA friend. And we were at a table, and a group of about four African Americans sat down across from us. I do remember this dream now. Um, and they were somewhat talking to us and chatting and friendly, and no one else in my group was talking. I was feeling social and I was maybe stoned, and I decided that I wanted to talk to them. So I started talking to them. They somewhat seemed interested in my hair texture, and we were talking about my hair and asking me questions about it. And I kept mentioning details about my hair care and things like that. And I wasn't used to people complimenting my hair because they were also African American. I felt like their compliments were quite legitimate, and so I felt that it was pretty nice that they were complimenting me. A few of them got up and were leaving, and one of them stayed, and I stayed and talked a little bit. And she was going to leave with her friends, and I asked her if I was able to walk a little bit over with her, just for a second, because I was going to ask her for her contact information. So I first asked for her number, and then I asked if we could exchange emails. She seemed hesitant at first, but then she had a notebook with her and took it out and invited me to walk with her uh, over to an area where we could sit outside near a sidewalk. Uh, Now I'm remembering this visually in the dream. It was like a bench, kind of those benches that almost are um, like a bus stop bench, but just without the covering, just kind of like on the side of the sidewalk, like a public bench. It was like that. Somehow it seemed like we were near City College area, and we basically started talking a little bit, and she started to try and see if I could write my number in her notebook. But some reason the notes kept getting jumbled, and I wrote my phone number quite a few times, and she couldn't read it, or I couldn't see it, or it kept disappearing, and there were different words on each page. And she wrote a couple pages of information, and for some reason, we weren't able to just simply exchange numbers and our cell phones. And there were some issues with the markers and pens and paper and information. And so basically what I was trying to say is like everything kept like either disappearing or being too messy or like looking weird, or like if it was in yellow, it was like too bright to see. There was always some kind of issue. So it's like we couldn't really like save the information. Well, there's a cop over here now. I don't really know what they're doing, but yeah, we couldn't really save the information, and so um, yeah, I don't know. There's like a cop over here looking around. All right, homies, we had some I don't know what was happening. There's a locksmith that was kind of trying to get some police officers to do something. I don't know what. They were pointing at something, and then a second officer came. I didn't see anything really happen. There were no sirens, no lights, no nothing. Uh, I don't really know, but they were here for like a while. So, anyways, let me get back to this story. I don't even know where I left off. Some reason the notes kept getting jumbled, and I wrote my phone number quite a few times, and she couldn't read it or couldn't see it, or it kept disappearing, and there were different words on each page. And she wrote a couple pages of information, and for some reason, we weren't able to just simply exchange phone numbers and our cell phones. And there were some issues with the markers and pens and paper and information we were writing on the paper. But we did exchange some kind of information. And at some point, if she walked with me, sorry, that doesn't make any sense. At some point, she walked with me uh, into her apartment, and I was trying to remember the number and street, kind of like the cross streets of where her apartment was, and write it down in my phone after I left from her apartment. Because I think she was kind of just in the dream. I think it was kind of more like, hey, just like check out where I stay, because we can't exchange information for some reason. So just this is where I stay. So now you know where I stay. So you could just come by, kind of thing, if you want to get in touch. And then I was like, at some point, I guess I wrote after that. At some point, her other friends were there and were sort of talking. We were sort of talking, and I mostly just wanted to meet up and hang out because she had sent an invite for me to meet up with them either later that night or the next day. And I wanted to meet, but I wasn't going to be available, which is why I was trying to see if I could get her contact information. Because I guess when we were at that table with my friends, um, when they all came and sat down, that's kind of some part of that conversation when we were talking about my hair, I guess. Um, and I was somewhat nervous, but um, also more concerned about trying not to be annoying, and kept telling her that there's no obligation to stay in contact. I just mostly wanted to meet local people to hang out, and she seemed cool with it. Of everyone in the group, she was quiet and calm, and I think her friends weren't too annoyed with me. I don't really know. Like, that's pretty much what I wrote for the dream. It's weird reading dreams back because I don't like fully remember. Like, I remember visually very clearly, and I've noticed I've been having dreams lately where there's those types of themes. Like, I try to do something and it's just not fully working out, but I'm usually not too stressed out. I'm just like, geez, man, like going through like all the options and trying to exhaust all the options, and like it's just not working. It's like, try the pen doesn't write, or try to write it with a pencil and then my writing's too messy, and then try it on a different piece of paper and try it with the marker and then the marker doesn't write, or try it with this and now this marker disappears and this one's too bright and that one, is too thick. It's like there's always like some kind of issue going on. um and I don't really know if that's how my life is, where it's like there's always an issue going on that can't really be resolved. Like, I'm definitely in a time period where um things aren't like crystal clear. I get a little bit of clarity with things, just by, trying to like engage with stuff and not really fully just disconnect and be like so like disconnected from things in life. But um I try not to like shut down, and I try to like keep trying, and I'm like, sometimes when I keep trying and something's not really working out smoothly, I'll just take a step back, take some days off, take a week off if I need to, just kind of chill for a while and then see what comes of it. But other than that, like, I don't know, nobody's life is perfect. My life isn't bad. Like, I've definitely got a lot more flexibility and freedom than I've ever had in my life, and I feel like that's definitely a blessing in disguise. Like, it doesn't feel like it because I like to be busy. I'm one of those people that kind of really, I want to say I identify with my work. It's not really so much like that, but I was raised by really hardworking people, and I was raised to like working hard and like being productive, and to talk about the stuff that I'm doing that's productive, and I usually enjoy that. And I don't enjoy having too much free time and too much freedom, but I really like it from a creative perspective. Like, it's really showing me how often and how long I was too busy, and all the stuff I haven't had time and energy to really focus on over like years of my life. You know, having this time has definitely given me clarity into that. Uh, there's no way I would have come as far as I am with certain stuff if I had stayed as busy and as swamped and as drained as I was before. Um, but I don't know. I don't know what to really say about it. Um, I I yeah. I mean, that's the queer dream I wrote. Maybe I recorded about this already. I'll have to double check, but I might just post it again. Um, just because I'm probably saying some little bit of different stuff here, but um, yeah. If I have more dreams, I'll try and write them down. I mean, I guess every dream is technically a queer dream, right? If I'm a queer person having dreams, but um, not all of them are queer themed. Uh, but yeah, I guess that's it for now. I kind of got some stuff on my mind that I want to. I got somebody I need to kind of catch up with real quick, so um, I got to do that before I forget what I was trying to do. Um, but yeah, guys, hopefully you like this episode. Thanks for listening.